SEASIA, what's up everybody? Alright, it's a Saturday night on Windway. In this video, we're going to talk about should you date a bunch of women or get in a serious relationship quickly in Vietnam and pretty much all of Asia in the world. Like, especially if you're moving to a new country, should you be dating around? Should you be getting in a serious relationship very fast? I'm going to give you the pros and cons and kind of give you what I think I would do and what I did when I came here. So again, we've got content on Patreon. I'm shooting that after this. It's all kinds of cool stuff on there. You can sign up for 16 cents a day. It's a pretty good value if you want to support your boy. If not, no worries. But let's get into the video. Let's take a look around before all the speakers get turned on. All right. First things first. If you're moving to a new country and you've never lived in another country and you know, you're gonna want to be out there, you're not gonna want to get a serious relationship immediately. Granted, I will say this, if you are dating and you find one that's amazing and you know it's good, don't let your little head do the talking. You have to use both heads, my guys. It's a combination. It's an art form. Using each head and have both heads work together, if you know what I'm saying. So I would, if I was here, and what I did do is I would be dating multiple women for sure. I would be definitely dating around, going on a lot of dates. I would be telling the women that we're not exclusive, that I am, you know, going on dates. I wouldn't say the word seeing other people, but I would say I'm actively going on dates. You know, we're not an official item. There's kind of a thing here with the women where if you go on a couple dates and you keep seeing them, they pretty much think you're exclusive. So like, you have to, you know, probably on the first date be like, or on the second date be like, I'm seeing, you know, I'm going on multiple dates. Again, you've got to use your wording properly. I wouldn't say I'm seeing multiple women. That's not too many women are gonna be like, oh, that sounds great. I would love to sign up for that. Perfect. If you know where that perfect's from, let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. So, if it's me, I would be, for real, you know, if you're a guy that wants to be online dating, for Tinder, you've got to put the time in. If you right swipe on everything, as I've said before, the algorithm's going to give you shitty output. You're going to just get working girls and not good matches. You want to take the time. You want to look at each profile. You want to look at the pictures. Are you attracted to them? Do you think you guys might have something mentally? Then swipe right. And swipe left more often than you swipe right. That's my biggest pro tip for Tinder. I haven't used Tinder for 4 years. 4 years? 4 years. So I can't tell you what the new things are. I don't know what the packages are, but it used to be back in the day I used it, you'd buy the max tier. It was pretty affordable, and then you could have unlimited everything. So this is probably what I'd still recommend now. I don't know how much it is, so it depends on how much it is. But yeah, I'd buy the max. Definitely the max tier. And put your time into it. Don't just assume smashing right is going to equal good stuff. And as I've given you advice before, keep these first dates pretty short, you know. Go for a coffee. I do not recommend. My first date is always going to be a rooftop chill bar where there's not any music and you can have a conversation. She gets a drink in her, maybe feels a little bit more loosened up. You're going to tend to get more of a real experience from somebody. You definitely don't want to get them drunk because you're not going to really see. Some people say you really see someone when they're drunk. There's different levels to that, you know. So I don't necessarily know that I agree with that. But I would definitely do a quick date, half hour, 45 minutes. And like I said in the last video, if you find interest, set up that date then on the spot. Don't wait. Let's do the other flip side of the coin. Like, what if like you're the second girl you see, you're like, she's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. She's got the best personality. It's a difficult situation for me to recommend. But I would say if you really are feeling that 100 and there's not red flags popping up on both sides, like if you really find a real one really early on and everything's connecting, you feel that she's physically into you, you're physically into her, you're mentally into each other, you know, she knows English, you can talk to her, start hanging out with her. And if you have friends here, one thing a lot of dudes miss is you want to take her around your friends. Like, see how she acts when she's around your friends. Even if you've only got like one buddy here, you'll usually make a friend pretty quickly. You'll have at least one friend pretty out of the gate. So my recommendation would be to pretty aggressively, if you guys are dating and you're on your 7th, 8th date, see how she is around your friend or friends. That tells a lot. Like, that's a big thing that dudes miss, like, because you need to see that. Like, if she's super weird and sits there on her phone and just doesn't say a word and has got her head down the whole time, doesn't care about anybody that they're with outside of you and just you guys are together, and like you'll be like, oh, it's really great when we're together, she's just shy, and you start making up excuses for her. These are red flags, and guys don't always see that. So many dudes here think with their small head instead of their big head, and it's never gonna lead you down a good road. If your motive and your girl you've met is driven primarily from your small head, my recommendation would be to have fun with her for a while, and that's it. Don't go anywhere serious with that, you know, just have fun with it, consider it a good memory, and move on. So many of these speakers. Hold on, I'll be back, since they have to play at the loudest possible level they can. All right, we're back. So as I was saying, honestly, you've heard me go on about it a million times, but Winway is seriously not nearly as cool as it was just even 6 months ago. Like, the whole live performance singing thing has really derailed it. Like, Vietnamese love this shit, but I do not. I don't want to hear some out-of-tune guy on a speaker singing and the speaker cracking because he's got it up too loud and the treble's up too loud. It's just not what I want to see when I go on a walking street, man. They really need to start cracking down on this shit. You know, take away their speaker just like you take away the street stall people. What's the big deal? Like, this guy's singing so loud the speaker's cracking. I can hear the shit quality from here. If you can't tell, I'm not into it. So anyways, yeah, if she's giving a million red flags but you're just with it because she's super hot, hold on. So like I said, if it's just more about like the small head and she's hot, and you know, she's so sexy and you've never had a woman like that, that is not something you tend to want to marry unless you're okay with it being, especially if you're not good looking, it being transactional. But we've already done that video. I'm not going to get too much into this. If she's good looking and you're not good looking, she's really into you, but a lot of red flags are going off, you know what to do. I've given you guys this video a few times already on that. That's not what this is about. My recommendation is start dating right away. Have fun. Use the Tinder if you want. It's very popular here. Meet chicks IRL though, as I've talked about in other videos. Go up to them, talk to them. If they seem interested, you pull out your Zalo QR code, or you ask her for her Zalo QR code. You scan it, and then you get into a conversation right away. There is no waiting for a text here. You can initiate and push everything, and she can either choose to or not to. You know, it's so opposite of any kind of Western dating that it couldn't get more opposite. So, as I said, if things get serious fast and you're liking her and there's no red flags, like, this is how me and Winnie got together. I didn't meet her right away. I had actually another girl before her here, and I had dated numerous girls before her. Numerous. So she wasn't the first in any way, but like, Probably if she would have been, I probably would have immediately put the time in, because essentially what happened with Wynn is I met her out on Boivin, gave her my number. We met the next day for drinks on a rooftop. The next day after that, we saw a movie. And then the next day after that, we went out for dinner. And then the next day after that, I think we went to dinner and had drinks again. And then we went out and partied because it was a weekend. And we went to the Benthon open market deal that had all the bars and the restaurants that became District K. And then she's been with me ever since. So like, it just happened naturally. And there was no red flags. You know, of course there's always going to be a few red flags, but then, you know, you meet the family. You can't just start mulling over like and ignoring big red flags. Like, if you absolutely hate her mom and dad, or if the whole family's shit, you gotta understand you're marrying the family here. It's like America in the 50s and 60s. Like, you're talking a totally different thing. It is not like the West now here. You better get along with that family, boy, or you're gonna be in for a hell of a ride. Like, you're just not gonna have a fun time, man. Especially if they don't like you. So the good thing with that is usually most of the people in the family don't know any English. So usually you can't tell if they're shit or not, unless you hear your wife complaining about someone in the family on a continuous basis. And then you can kind of know that not that great, if you get what I'm flowing at you. So really my biggest thing would be, yeah, date around, get out there and put effort into it. Don't be lazy. Like, put your time into the Tinder, put your 2 hours in a day on Tinder, maybe wake up in Tinder for a half hour. Tinder's pretty dead during the day. They kind of fire up Tinder when they're not at work because they don't want anybody to see it, type deal. So Tinder, more so your efforts should be timed from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. for Vietnam, and you'll probably have the most luck with the resources then. And like I said, if you meet a real one and things come together real quick, yeah. And this whole, like, there's been somebody made some crazy comments on the YouTube video where I talked about this last time. If she's telling you she can't live with you till you're married, she either lives in the jungle in the middle of nowhere, or she's bullshitting you, man. I'm sorry to tell you, that is not the situation here anymore. There are no women that have to stay at home until they're married and live with their parents. That is just an old school way of things. Things have aggressively moved on from that. That is all over the board. Many Vietnamese live with their boyfriends now, vice versa. The girlfriend lives with the boyfriend, boyfriend lives with the girlfriend in their own apartment. This is a hugely common thing. If they're immediately trying to tell you you can't get married till, can't live with you till we get married, I don't care what anybody says, red flag, get out of there. Not happening. Not even for a second. Now, this used to be a very, very common thing here. Like, no joke. Just 10 years ago, it was still pretty common. But over the past, 10 years, that stuff's really gone away, man. Like, how are you going to get to know somebody if you haven't lived with them? You absolutely have to live with them. And somebody was like, 2 years is too long. 2 years is almost not even enough time. People don't show their true colors for a long time sometimes. And you have to go through the good and the bad. You have to see how that person is when shit's bad. You have to see how that person is when shit's really good. You have to see how that person is when maybe there's not much money coming in the household. And then how they are when maybe a lot of money's coming in the household. And then you got to start red flagging stuff. Like, you can't rush this process. Like, anytime I hear from a dude that's getting married within 6 months to a year of knowing the girl, I'm like, you're crazy, dude. And now that we probably have the 90-year visa coming back, start slowing your roll, guys. Cut it out. Like, stop getting married just so you can easily stay here. You're just leading yourself to disaster. And then you don't think that that's known as like a transactional type deal relationship? Like, you just created a transactional relationship, even if you didn't. I mean, just start using common sense. A lot of this stuff is common sense. And I make these videos because so many people come up to me and ask me about this stuff. Like, and I'm just trying to help you guys out. Like, seeing as I can't meet with a lot of people anymore, unless you're behind some kind of like Patreon paywall type deal. It's easier for me to talk to all of you in one of these videos, you know? I mean, I wish I could hang out with every one of you guys, whatever day when you like DM me or something and like, I'm here, bro, where you at? Like, I would love to just be able to go, yeah, man, let's meet up and do this. It's just, I simply just don't have time in my schedule for that. And now that I'm doing YouTube full time again, starting next week, on top of doing the project, which is not a job, it is 100% not what you probably think it is. It is a non-profit type deal. So the amount of busyness guys, when I am free to start meeting you guys again, it'll be awesome. But like, I'm not even trying to be a dick. Like, if you seriously want to have a conversation with me and get access and like potentially like meet up and hang out, sign up for the Patreon. Just sign up for a month and we can DM on there. We can sign up for a tour and we can go do a tour type deal. Like, it's just, I would love to be able to hang out with everyone. It's just, my time does not allow it. Like, I have no free time now. Like, between working out, trying to eat correctly, filming YouTube, editing YouTube, working on the project, doing so many different things. It's just, whew, it's a lot. So I'm trying to find the balance. I mean, you know, it is what it is. We're getting off the subject topic, but I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. But yes, I think 100% you should be putting in maximum effort to find a good woman and to date around. And if you just want to date around, then just do that. Don't lead a girl on. If a girl starts getting really, really hooked on you and she's texting you all the time and you can't provide her with that time all the time and you've got days missing from the timeline, you need to then pretty much tell her, like, yo, this can't go on anymore. Like, you've got to cut her free. Like, you have no choice. Like, absolutely no choice. Look at this girl in the short skirt. All right, guys, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Stay frosty. Add to the comment section. See you on the next one. Join the Patreon. Peace out.